Hey guys, WBR coming back at you. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to give you our Hell in a Cell pay-per-view predictions. Starting off with the very first one is actually a kickoff match. I didn't know it was going to be a kickoff. Sheamus, Wade Barrett, and Rusev versus Neville, Cesaro, and Dolph Ziggler. Who wins?
Pretty interesting match. I think Team Sheamus got this. They're going to give him a little boost. Remind him he's Mr. Money in the Bank. That's simple as that for a kickoff match.
Yeah, I'm going to have to completely agree with this one. They're calling themselves, I think it's European Empire or something. I don't even know. Something on Instagram.
I like it though. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. They're copying our swag from the last podcast.
Yep.
So,
Viva la Revolution.
I'm going to say they win. Yeah, pretty easily. They're going to do some funny tactics, and maybe that's going to be the next crew to fight the New Day. Who knows?
It'll be a good match to watch because these guys are all capable wrestlers though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's very, very true. But against the New Day, imagine that like a few months down the line. That'd be cool.
Love it.
Okay, so the second match, it's also a kickoff match. Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose versus the Wyatt family. Who do you got?
This is an interesting one. Hopefully it has something to relate to the last Monday Night Raw where Randy and Luke Harper weren't in attendance. Mm-hmm. Wait, is it going to be 3-on-2 or is it 2-on-2?
Because it's 2-on-2.
2-on-2. What about Eric Rowan? He's just not.
Actually, that's a really good question.
He's not admitted?
That's a good question.
Because, they brought him back on that, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
However, back to the predictions, though. I got Wyatt family via some kind of interruption. My theory was because Luke Harper wasn't away, they'll do something like that Daniel Bryan kind of thing where they brainwashed Randy Orton. And he, turns on Dean Ambrose.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. I think it's going to be... I thought it was going to be Luke Harper and Braun Strowman versus Randy and Dean. And then I think Eric Rowan is just going to come in and interrupt and cause them to...
I guess so, but the reason I chose the Wyatt family is because, they can't afford to make Braun Strowman lose for no reason.
Yeah.
It's this new guy. It's he hardly gets knocked down first pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's about right.
So I guess we're in agreement for both.
Yeah, so now it's a championship match, tag team titles on the line, New Day versus the Dudley Boys.
I want to say Dudley Boys, but I'm gonna have to stick with New Day because I don't see why they would have to give Dudley Boys the championship.
Yeah, for the amount of the push they've been getting recently, I can't imagine that the WWE would make Dudley Boys win. So I'm gonna have to say New Day via their normal tactics.
Oh, it's not gonna be a clean victory?
No, I think it's gonna be 3-on-2 basically. There's gonna be the guy outside. I think it's just gonna be interrupts or whatever, but they're gonna win. Fair enough. Retain no matter what.
Fair enough.
Okay, so the next one is Charlotte versus Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship.
Well, they've been building Nikki Bella all the Raws, making her win a lot of matches.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm going to stick with Charlotte because, they're just going to continue on this feud. They're going to be the two top runners.
Yeah, as much as I don't want that to happen, I don't think that will happen. I think Nikki Bella will win the championship via Paige accidentally, on purpose, making Charlotte lose.
Okay, wow.
I think she's going to make a surprise appearance, and I just can't imagine a pay-per-view without her. So I think she's going to interrupt, make Nikki Bella win. Maybe down the lines it'll be Charlotte versus Paige for the number one contender.
Yep.
Maybe Paige wins, and that's what I think is going to happen.
Fair enough.
Okay, so the next one, Intercontinental Championship on the line. Kevin Owens versus Ryback. Man, I can never say that word.
Intercontinental?
Yeah.
Mr. Intercontinental.
I'll just call it the IC next time. I think that's better.
Okay.
I think it's not going to be a decisive victory. I think it's going to be Kevin Owens. I think it's going to be Ryback via disqualification of some sort. Maybe he just leaves the ring or something stupid like that happens.
Interesting. Well, this is a tough one because I don't want either of them to get buried, via winning clean.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Kevin Owens clean.
Kevin Owens clean. That would have been my second choice. Okay, the next one, Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. This is actually a highly anticipated match because I think this could be the most open-ended. I think there's a lot of things that could potentially happen. Basically, this is my prediction. I think that Roman Reigns will win, however.
Yeah.
Clean.
Uh-huh.
And then I think the aftermath could be something really interesting. Like, you know how you were saying Randy Orton gets brainwashed?
Yeah.
I think maybe Roman Reigns may get brainwashed, or they'll tempt him
to
get brainwashed maybe down the lines. Maybe they'll plant the seed in his head. Something like that. But I think he wins ultimately. Clean,
right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go a little left field on this one.
Okay.
Roman Reigns loses via like multiple distractions. The whole family comes, everything.
What if they grab one of those like cutters, like those tree cutter things?
Yeah.
They just break the cell and they come in and they just beat him up. Like I always thought of something like that.
They did do that, right? They did that. I think with when it was the cheerleader squad versus HBK and Triple H. You remember that? They had the full cutters. They
that's probably where I got that.
Reverse locked them out, but it's still it's been done. But that would be really awesome, right?
Yeah, I think that could be. That's my second choice. I think something like that.
Yeah, but
involved.
maybe I think I'm just going with this because I want to see Roman Reigns lose.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. And then this is a really interesting one. The next is John Cena U.S. Open Challenge. They made it at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
This is really interesting because usually on Raw, he's not going to lose.
Yeah.
So the potential for him losing his title, it's huge right now.
Yeah. Well, we'll do like a two-part.
Yeah, two-part.
Like, who do you think is going to win? And who do you want or think is going to come out?
Okay, let's just do who do you think is going to come out first?
Who do I think?
I think it's either going to be, I have two choices here. Daniel Bryan. Or one of the NXT guys who's like on the rise. Because I was on the WWE.com.
Yeah.
And they were saying how there was this little article. It kept saying the people who won a championship on their debut type of thing.
Yeah.
So they're hella implying it. So I'm just thinking it could be a NXT guy, particularly Tyler Breeze. That's I think it could be him.
Yeah, I was gonna say Daniel Bryan too because they haven't really mentioned him, but I don't know how serious his neck injury is, so we don't know if he's actually coming back. Mm-hmm. That would really get the crowd going. As for the NXT guys, it would be insane if they did the kind of the Kevin Owens thing, but the new NXT champ Finn Balor, if he comes out, I'd like to see that too. But it's pretty open ended. It could be like a legend coming back out just to fill.
If it's Chris Jericho.
Okay, not Chris Jericho, pissed. But like somebody of higher caliber. What if it's somebody like Sting? But then he's also on injury.
Man,
I wouldn't like that. Yeah, but then there wouldn't be any purpose, right?
I hope he doesn't. I hope it's just some new guy that a lot of people haven't seen before, especially just people who watch Raw.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick with Tyler Breeze. But so let's say, whoever it is, who wins?
Well, I want to say that the person who comes out wins, and then they do the trilogy thing with John Cena ultimately coming out top. However, with the rumors that John Cena he wants to take time off, I'm just gonna go with the easy choice: John Cena, clean victory.
Wow. Okay, I am gonna go on the other side of this one. John Cena will lose his U.S. title, and then go on leave for like however many weeks, while pushing a really the new guy.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm thinking it's Tyler Breeze. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be him. He's going to win the title. John Cena is gone for the next few weeks. Comes back for a rematch down the line. Okay?
Fair enough.
Okay, and then Seth Rollins versus Kane for the... Demon Kane.
Oh, yeah.
For the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. What happens here?
I got Seth Rollins. I just don't see them making Demon Kane the champions. Like, what's the point?
Mm-hmm. Is it possible that he wins the title, Kane wins the title this pay-per-view, and then loses it next pay-per-view?
Yeah,
do you think
that's possible, but I don't really see the purpose. It's like right now this feud is kind of redundant because we know Kane's kind of on the tail end of his career. It's like there's no point of having a title run.
And Seth is the hottest guy right now.
Yeah.
So
and they did so much prep work for the previous Raws, making Rollins look bad just to set him up for victory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna say Seth Rollins wins. Maybe with a distraction. I'm not really sure, but I want to say he's just gonna win clean. Or maybe there will be a distraction. The ref goes down, he hits him with a chair or something like that. But I think he retains the title no matter what.
Ooh, this is a good pay-per-view for Sheamus to come in though, because it's so uneventful. Like this match is so uneventful, and Sheamus is in a kickoff match, so he has plenty of time.
Yeah, his match is way earlier in the day.
You know, plenty of time for the fans to forget about Sheamus. Or although he's not really in people's minds too much. Yeah. But he comes in, and Seth defends. No, well, we'll see, right? It's like that'd be very interesting.
That would be really cool. I wonder. I'm imagining Raw the next night with Sheamus as the title holder. Even if let's say Sheamus wins the title and then next week,
for sure. But
yeah, of course, and then next pay-per-view, Seth Rollins wins it back. I think that would still be a good idea.
It'd be a good idea, but such a shame for Sheamus.
Yeah, it is a shame for Sheamus. You know, I guess his name is pretty close to that. Okay. So the main event, again, Brock Lesnar.
The trilogy that everybody cares about. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is which is the third Lord of the Rings movie called? This is the return.
This is the Return of the King.
Okay, This is the Return of the King. What happens in that final?
Oh, Aragorn, you know.
The good guy wins.
Yeah.
Who's the good guy here, though? Brock? Okay, well, with that being said, Brock wins clean. That's all I have to say. I literally have nothing else to say. Nothing else. He's going to win clean. All right. If he doesn't...
clean?
I'm going to email Vince McMahon personally.
Just to make this thing interesting, there is the possibility of Undertaker winning, and he'll quit right off into the sunset.
Yeah, that's possible. What if there's like some fake injury, and then like Brock Lesnar rolled his ankle, and then he loses?
It could be a controversy. This is Undertaker's match.
Yeah.
Maybe, man, I'm just talking myself into this one now. Yeah, whatever. Undertaker. W, like not clean via some kind of shenanigans.
But he wins.
Okay.
You guys heard it here first. That's the WBR Hell in a Cell predictions coming up this week, Sunday night. And then we're going to also have a podcast talking about, the aftermath and all that, in the near future, guys.
Let us know what you think for your predictions.
Yeah, leave a comment. See what you guys like. This is WBR signing off.